Well, my name is Frank, and I started in photography back, actually I was quite young, shooting. Always used to take my mom's little camera. That's what the first recollection of taking pictures. But where I really was nudged into something a little bit more on the professional level, even though it was only high school, was in high school. I had a photography teacher that said you should really get out of this little camera and get into a 35mm single lens reflex camera. And that's what he gave me, all types of assignments. I used to shoot anything from the rallies in high school to the football events and the cheerleading squad and for the yearbook, things like that. That's what really got me going. As far as my perspective of what education is, that always helps to learn the finesse, to learn the fine points, to learn what you can do and what you, I don't want to say can't do, because you can do just about anything you want. It just depends on the results you get. I think the main thing in photography is you have to take lots of pictures. And I don't care if you use a fancy digital camera, 35mm film camera, or even the little box throwaway cameras. Just take pictures. You have to take a lot of bad pictures to get that one or two good ones. And basically all that is, it's not really where it's a bad picture, but you learn different angles, what works better, what you like, because it is an artistic judgment. There's no one out there that could say exactly that's a bad picture, because they see it a different way. Everybody sees it, and I think that's the fun of it, because as you explore, as you take a lot of pictures, you'll see that maybe your eye or your perspective that somebody else didn't think about, and then they go, hey, that's a nice picture. So I think that's the main thing, is to shoot a lot of pictures. But then start learning your equipment. And now with the digital, it's, I think, incredibly important to learn computer work. Maybe not to be the total Photoshop guru, but you have to really know it to work in photography. And also with the Apple products, using Final Cut Pro, if you're doing any of the photography with digital where you're converting it to show on a screen, either on a plasma screen like what I have here, or as big as the theater that we have here at Santana Row, I've shot all that too. Very important to be able to work with the computer. If you don't know that and you turn your stuff over to somebody else, then of course it's their judgment, whatever the outcome is. But if you know all these other things and you kind of tie your business together, it makes you more valuable. And that's one of the reasons why I've been doing so much work here for Santana Row and for Lexus and for the Walt Disney Company and for Villa Montalvo and a few others. Well, basically with getting into photography, I always wanted to take pictures and try to have an archive, have a library of sorts of pictures and events over the course of time. And I had no place for them except for my own memories. And I saw these pictures in a Disney magazine one time. This was back in probably well, call it 15 years ago. I said, I was at the same event, and I thought my pictures were better than what was in the magazine. So I decided, and I also, by the way, have a very big love for Disney. I enjoy it, and I think when you enjoy something, it comes out in your work. Instead of just snapshot here, snapshot there, you take a little bit more care and finesse with it. So anyway, I decided, I made a phone call, I got a little bit bold, and I decided I was going to try to audition, or what do you call that? Help me here. You try to interview, there you go, interview with the Disney magazine. I went down there, drove all the way to LA, took my portfolio with me, sat down with the editor, and the next thing I know, I was shooting freelance events for Disney, and that's where I got started. But what was really kind of cool is everybody, Disney, even though it's a huge company, all the media people look at everybody else's, each other's information and the pictures and their articles, and people started seeing my work and started calling me to do different things for different parts of the company. And so it goes. Most of what I do is for the publicity department in events. So not product shots or anything like that. Get work when you're a freelance photographer. I think you have to network a lot, talk to people, be not only friendly and open, but of course you have to show that you do somewhat of a good quality work. Working, sometimes people don't even know that they want this. So sometimes you have to take the picture on speculation that they might use it. Here at Santana Row, I've been here for about 3 years. I decided that I was just going to walk around and take pictures anytime. I always walk around with my camera. So I take pictures of daytime here, nighttime, events, seasons of the year, and I started building this huge library of all these different images. And then I went to the marketing department and I said, look what I have. And this could show the row when you need for brochures, when you need it for TV commercials for pictures, when you need it for PowerPoint presentations, when you go back to the board that's on the East Coast. And that's how I got in here. So some of it, you have to take it upon yourself to do some work sometimes ahead of what you think the client would want. Or at least that's the way I approach that. And when you're a photographer, it's good to step into the shoes of your client. And I'm not trying to say you have to be everything for everybody. But say, for instance, if you're, I'm going to use Santana Row here for an example. I'm a consumer like a lot of people. What would I like to see if I saw a picture that was supposed to help me understand what Santana Row is all about? Or if I'm going to Disneyland, everybody always sees the castle when you walk straight down Main Street. But what if you look at it from over here or look at it from over there? It just kind of gives you a more perspective, because some people usually run right past it and then they go, wow, that is nice. So I think it's kind of fun to be a storyteller. And sometimes it's more than just Disney and more than Santana Row. You can see a couple of pictures here. This was the Blue Angels. When I shot, what I love about digital photography too is I've blown this one up. This is a 12 by 18. You can kind of see proportion here with the hands. But if in here, when you look at it very close, you can see that the helmets of the guys flying these jets, the digital was such a good resolution, and these guys are moving, I don't know, 400 or 500 miles an hour when you're taking pictures like this. But you can see the pictures even shows not only just the movement because of the smoke here, but you can capture their helmets, so you know there was actually guys in there. It's very cool. And another fast-moving situation was, this was last year's San Jose Grand Prix. Now, luckily, I had a big telephoto lens. I was close, but not as close as you would think. This is with a big 400 millimeter telephoto lens, so you capture a lot of good movement in here, but yet some of this is nice and still. Here's one other picture that I had a good time with. They're coming around this corner. This is just downtown San Jose. They're coming around the corner. It's just a regular street corner that most of us would drive 15, 20 miles an hour. These guys, the policemen there, had a radar gun. These guys were hitting this corner at 90 miles an hour. And this is kind of fun. They were just coming up. You can see the wheel coming off. Very consistent. Everybody was up on 2, maybe 3, but never on 4 going around that corner. And that was a lot of fun. Being a professional photographer gives you a chance to take pictures of whatever you want. You don't always have to shoot weddings or shoot food or shoot pony shots or shoot pools. You can take pictures of whatever you want. There's always people out there that want to see what you shoot. Now, the idea is trying to find the right audience, and once you think you have something that's a good image or a good group of images for marketing or whatever the purpose, keep trying, keep going for it. You never know what's going to happen. Don't give up. I know you hear those words all the time, and all I can tell you is my quick little story here of the Santana Rows. I shot for 2 years of all these pictures because I had the idea that all these groups of pictures would make a nice souvenir travel book. And it took about 2 years to push it through, but it's finally done. It's finished, it's published, it's being sold at the bookstore and used all around. It's been sold all around the country, actually. So I'm very happy that that happened. With Disney, I decided I was going to take my shot down there and interview with the magazine, and that worked. You have to try. Don't expect somebody to hand you the situation. But the main thing is to take lots of pictures, because talk is cheap. Show them what you can do, somebody's going to like it, and then work it. You never know where things come from.